So a couple of weeks ago, we took a look at the new lens blur function in Lightroom, which is a really cool way of being able to kind of enhance an already slightly out of focus background, make it a little bit more bokeh-licious. But today, we're gonna look at the other big part of the latest update to Lightroom, which adds in a really useful way to color grade really fast, really straightforward, and really intuitive, really easy to just, be getting into it, be doing it. Let's dive in. It's Tutorial Tuesday. Welcome back to Tutorial Tuesday, where each and every week, each and every Tuesday, we bring you a brand new, fresh, just a straightforward, fresh photography tutorial. This week, like I say, let's dive into Lightroom. I'm going to show you a couple of photos, and we're going to look at how easy color grading and very selective color grading can be in Lightroom. Let's look at this photo first of all. Let's say, for example, that we wanted to affect the color of this wood. There's a number of ways that we could do it. We could go in with a mask and maybe affect the color temperature. We could use the HSL sliders to affect the hue, saturation, and luminance. But in a lot of ways, that's going to affect the whole photo. It might start affecting the skin tones. Let's take a look at the new feature in Lightroom. So let's go to where the HSL tab would have been previously, which is here where it says color mixer. And you can see it is still here if you have mixer selected. But if you go over here to point color, this is the newest kind of way to actually affect colors like this. And it is so useful. All we're going to do is take this eyedropper tool here, and we're going to select a point on the wood. That's going to actually select a color right here, and you can see the color just next to the eyedropper tool. We can come back to that color at any time. If we select another color, let's say we select the sort of pink in this little cat here, we've got a new color here, right? So let's make sure we select that color again. And what we can do is actually drag and move this point to affect the hue and the saturation, and this point over here to affect the luminance. We've also got sliders down here if you prefer to use those, but it makes it very, very easy. So in the case of the wood, let's move that towards sort of a warmer, a more sort of burnt orange, and let's darken it up a little bit as well. Let's go for something like that, more warm, more orange. But as you can see in the photo, it is horrifically affected my skin tones. That's all completely destroyed. So in this situation, it's not ideal. No problem, I hear you say. We can double click to reset those actual points. We can go straight into the masking tool and actually use this as a mask. So for example, in this situation, let's go ahead and click select subject. Now that's going to select me. There we go. Perfect. If we actually just tick this invert box, now we can actually just select everything that's not me, and we can still come down to the point color, select this point, but this is just within the mask. And I'm able to then affect this in a really useful way. So I can make it a little bit more orange. I can bring this point down a little bit, darken that up a little bit. I can then just come down here if I want to actually just affect the hue. I want to bring that saturation down a bit as well. And that's made quite a large amount of difference. I mean, whether you like it or not, it's made a big difference. If we actually turn that mask off for a second and then back on, we've really affected that wood, made it more of a sort of a bit warmer, a bit darker, a little bit more woody. You can see it really well in a photo like this, where we've got lots of different colors floating around here. So if we come down to point color, let's say I want to warm up this orange kind of, I don't know what these are. If you know what these are, let me know in the comments. Some kind of food, I guess. But let me know, because I'd be interested to know. But we can just come over, select our eyedropper tool here, just select one of the orange bits, and we can start moving this around. Now, something else which is very, very nice, which I like a lot, is we can actually tick this little tick box down here called Visualize Range. If we tick that on, what that's going to do is make everything in the image black and white apart from the area that we have selected. And we can actually adjust this range slider as well. So if I bring that up, it's going to be more inclusive of kind of colors around the color that we selected. And if we bring that down towards 0, it is really going to be much more selective about just the colors right next to the color that I picked. So I think leaving it at 50 is a good balance. But if you've got, if you need a little bit more lenience with what colors are selected, you can absolutely do that. Let's tick off Visualize Range. But that has instantly made such a huge difference. And again, if we didn't want to affect the onion skin here, if we didn't want to affect the coconuts, then we can just use a mask to mask this in. This is something that I've started using all the time in my photos. This is something that is very, very handy for selectively color grading either one area of a photo, one specific color, and just really be able to go in and making those exact color grading choices that you want to make. I still love the HSL sliders, so going back over to Mixer, that's all still here. I absolutely love using those. That's super handy, and that's a great way to do some more sort of global editing, so affecting the whole photo. But I love that point color exists at all, and I love that you can mask it as well. It makes it so easy to hone in on those colors you want to change. Oh, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. So that and the lens blur, big stuff in this latest update that I'm a big fan of. And that's it. It's a reasonably quick tutorial this week. It felt like a big enough addition that I kind of wanted to do a video about it, just because it felt like something that I'm starting to use a lot more. But let me know in the comments, is this something you're going to use? Have you already started playing around with it? Let me know. And if you know what that food is, I'd love to know. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. But until then, as always, thanks for watching.